So what's going on, guys? DIY Dan here again. This is another episode of Backroads, Arizona. In this video, I'm going to be doing an update on a propane quick coupler system that I added to run my fire pit and a grill. Now, the grill I had was a piece of crap, and I got rid of that and updated it to a Weber. I did have a problem with the quick coupler system for my original grill. I'm going to go over that so it doesn't happen to you, along with the conversion to make this Weber grill work with the quick coupler system. Once we decided to get rid of that piece of crap grill, we ended up getting a BLACKSTONE griddle to start with. I'm going to go over the adapter you need to turn that into the quick coupler system as well. Now, my wife and I do love this BLACKSTONE griddle for breakfast and other things. However, we both agreed that we just didn't like cooking burgers or steaks on a griddle, that we wanted an actual grill, which is why we ended up getting this Weber. Now, a lot of you guys might not want to convert your stuff over to a quick coupler system, because then what if you need your grill or BLACKSTONE and you don't have your camper, RV, or toy hauler? Well, I'm going to show you what I did to rectify that problem as well, and it's not that difficult. Now, the reason I put this system in is to make life a little easier when you're going camping. I don't have to bring extra 5-gallon propane jugs or bring a bunch of the small bottles. I hook everything up to my toy hauler, because my philosophy with camping is, if it's a pain in the ass to get ready or to go camping, you're not going to do it as much, so everything has to be as easy as possible. So with all that being said, let's get to it. So right here is the Weber camping grill that I actually purchased, guys. Now, I didn't buy this thing new, because if this thing was new, it'd be right around $350 to $400 for the grill and the stand, which is absolutely outrageous. I ended up going on OfferUp and finding this thing almost brand new for 140 bucks. Now, the reason I got this grill was because I absolutely love the Weber grill that I have around the house, and I absolutely hated that cheap piece of crap that I had going camping, and this seemed like the logical way to go. Now, the only thing bad I've heard about this style of Weber camping grill is people have complained about the regulators going bad quite often. I honestly didn't even try it before adapting it over with the conversion kit. But after a while of using this thing, I probably will do a review of it to let you guys know what I think of it. What I can tell you from the short experience that I've had with it so far is that it is much easier to remove the grill from the stand to take the stand down. Then you can put the grill back on the stand to move it around easily with the wheels. But taking it up and down with the grill on the stand is kind of obnoxious. So this was the original grill that I actually purchased years ago from like Walmart or something. It was only 30 or 40 bucks, which designates it basically a piece of crap. I had very uneven cooking and I had a lot of flare-ups, and I just decided I needed something better. So when I originally added the propane quick disconnect system for my fire pit and the grill, the fire pit worked great. However, the grill barely had any flame at all. The reason for this is I just added a couple fittings to the regulator of that grill to hook it up to the quick disconnect hose. The problem with that is then you're running two regulators, because there's a regulator on the propane tanks at the front of your trailer or wherever it's pulling from, and then a second regulator at this grill. Well, the first regulator takes the pressure down and basically doesn't allow any pressure to go past the second regulator. So a quick example of this is our BLACKSTONE. Right here you can see that this is the regulator that originally came with this BLACKSTONE. I actually purchased this conversion kit online through Amazon, and this removes the regulator so it just goes straight to the BLACKSTONE itself. So if you want to see more information on how I changed over the fire pit to the quick disconnect and adding the actual quick disconnects to the trailer itself, there will be an icon for that video you can click on at the end of this one. You can check it out. Right now, we're going to get into how to convert this Weber camping grill over to the quick disconnect. Now, the first thing I did is actually called Weber to see if they could help me out with a conversion kit for this grill to the quick coupler system, and they had no idea what I was talking about. They tried selling me a adapter hose to go from this regulator on the grill over to a 5-gallon propane container, but that's all they would give me. So after doing a little digging, I did find this conversion kit on Amazon, and it worked great for this camping grill. So there are two bolts that hold this regulator to a bracket. Once you remove those two bolts, which are a 1/4-inch socket, the bracket will just basically fall off of the grill. You will also need to remove the handle off of the flow control valve, and that just pulls off by hand. Once you get that out of the way, you can unthread the regulator. I was able to do this by hand. You might need a pair of pliers if necessary. I did take the new fitting and thread it onto the flow control valve a little bit to make sure it felt like the thread pitch was correct, and it did. So then I removed it and got some yellow pipe tape. Yellow pipe tape is made for propane, and wrapped the threads of the flow control valve in that tape before installing the adapter. If you just happen to struggle with pipe tape and how it goes on correctly, I will post that video at the end of this one you can check out as well. Now, because I didn't see any sealant or pipe tape on the two fittings that were already attached to each other in the kit, I did decide to take those apart and thread tape those as well. However, there was some Loctite on those fittings, so this was an unnecessary step that I took. So if you're wondering what the actual adapter is, it's basically an 1/8 inch female pipe thread that goes on the flow control valve to a female 1/4 inch pipe thread, so you can thread in the quick coupler, which has 1/4 inch male pipe thread threads. I did grab a pair of pliers and hold the flow control valve when doing the final tightening with those fittings, because I didn't want anything getting tweaked while I was tightening it down. Then all that's left to do is put the handle back on. All you have to do is line up the half moon shape in the handle and push it onto the flow control valve. And that's about all there is to it, guys. Right here, I'm actually firing this grill up for the first time since I bought it off of OfferUp. You can see that it was trying to ignite, and then it's got a few large flames on it. That was just some pieces of grease or nastiness that got stuck on the top of the burner that I had to shut it down and remove, and then it fired up and produced a steady flame all the way through the grill. So right here, I'm going to go over some adapters that I've got in order to make this propane system quick disconnect work in various ways. So here's the original Blackstone, and then that's the adapter that takes this one's place. So you can go to the quick disconnect for that. This is a Y because I'm actually possibly running my fire pit, my Weber grill, and the Blackstone all at once. I've got 3 different hoses. These ones are right around 10 to 12 feet apiece. I do have a 20-footer that I had specifically made for my fire pit so I could get it away from everything, including my toy hauler. And I only have 2 quick disconnects on my trailer, so this allows me to run all 3 of these at the same time. I usually run the fire pit off the one and then the 2 grills off of the other one with the Y. So one of the big concerns I could see happening is once you go to the quick disconnect, what if I want to use a separate 5-gallon propane container? Well, this is why I rigged this up. This screws onto the propane container. I've got my regulator and I've got a quick coupler. So now I can plug in any of my hoses and go directly to those items as needed. So let's say you still want to be able to use the small little bottles on your Weber grill for whatever reason. I didn't actually rig this up because I don't ever foresee myself actually doing this. You could take one of the female quick couplers, and all this is a 1/4 inch male pipe to an 1/8 inch male pipe. You could thread that into the regulator with one of those. Then you could snap this onto the Weber grill and you're able to use the little bottles with it. So if that was a concern and the reason you don't want to do this, this is a solution for that. And you can do various things with this. This I actually had rigged up. This was when I was trying to use the double regulators and it didn't work. I just haven't taken it apart yet. But that shows you the variety and some of the things you can do with this quick coupler system to make life a little easier on you going camping. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and it gave you some good information. If so, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. The whole concept of my channel is to give you guys the most information in the least amount of time as possible, so I don't waste your time. And I hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Later.